Hello, everybody. This is the fifth video lecture on the topic of infancy and toddlerhood, and we are currently in the part of the chapter where we are discussing cognitive development. This is the slide I was on when we, at the end of the previous lecture, talking about some of the theories of cognitive development. Remember, cognitive means thinking, and the point is that baby children think differently. They have their capacity to think is different. Learning and memory. This slide is about a kind of thinking theory called classical conditioning, where we discussed, or I was talking about Pavlov and his dogs and operant. So we have classical conditioning and operant conditioning. Another way to think about cognitive development or other research is associated with Watson. And Watson is famous for his work with behavioralism. And behavioralism is a way of understanding, is a way of thinking about cognitive development that is specifically interested in what we can see. So behaviors, observable behaviors. Watson is most famous for his research with a little boy who went by the name of Albert, so we call it Little Albert. And you may remember from the previous chapter, from one of the first chapters, Albert was given white fluffy rabbits or white fluffy things. And so Watson was aware that children are innately afraid of loud noises. So he demonstrated that you could teach. This is the point. This is really what I wanted you to take from all of the discussion about Watson, is that you could teach a child to be afraid of something they are not afraid of. And he observed that children had an innate fear response to loud noises. So he paired up these things that a child wasn't afraid of. In this case, it was a white fluffy rat or white fluffy toys with this loud noise. And he demonstrated that this child became afraid of something he was not afraid of because it had been paired up or associated with something he was afraid of. So that's really what Watson's famous contribution to behavioralism. Another behavioralist theory is what we call social learning theory, and that's what these images on the slide are taken from a very famous research project with Bobo the doll. And Bobo is a blow-up toy. They were popular when I was a kid. And it demonstrated that, so what they would put Bobo in a room, and children would observe adults interacting with Bobo. And what they demonstrated was that if the children had seen these adults be violent towards Bobo, they became violent towards Bobo too. If the children had not seen the adults interact differently, not aggressively towards Bobo, the children were not aggressive towards Bobo. So it went on to demonstrate that children do learn by observing and watching others, and they respond to the environment based on what they have seen. There's a little bit of an extension of this theory, which goes on to argue that not only do children respond to what they have seen, but if they have been rewarded for certain things, they will repeat those behaviors. If they have been punished for those things, they won't repeat those behaviors. Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit to a different element of cognition, and that is memory. A couple key points that I want to highlight here is that it appears, research suggests that children do not have what we would call episodic memories until they reach about the age of 3. And what this means is, so episodic right here, this word right here, I should probably, if I bold it in the whole screen, it'll be bold. Episodic memories are memories of episodes in your life. So your 16th birthday, high school prom, your first kiss, when your babies were born. Those are episodic memories. There are episodes in your life. But it appears that children don't have any memory prior to about age 3. So what this tells us is that there's something different about children's memory. There's different theories as to why this is. One theory used to be that the memory structures were not fully formed in a child under the age 3, so therefore they couldn't form memories. That has since been discredited because The idea is that if a child couldn't form memories, they wouldn't recognize their mother, they wouldn't know that was their doggy, they wouldn't learn words. So that theory has been discredited. Instead, the theory says now, the working theory now, is that children don't have a sense of self and they don't have a sense of time. So we can't situate ourself in time without the concept of time. But that's probably for a different chapter. But what I want you to know from this slide is there are different elements. There are different kinds of memory. If we were in the psychology class, I would talk about, for instance, sensory memory, sensory input. It's a very short term, it's a very fleeting, it processes a lot of information, very, very limited, like microseconds. Then your sensory memory that gets moved into short-term memory. Your short-term memory can process something on the order of 7 plus or minus, but it's long-term memory that we typically think of as memory, right? So long-term memory is thought to be nearly limitless. This is where we store the elements of who we are, our identity, all get stored into long-term memory. In long-term memory, we have a kind of memory that we call explicit. Sometimes textbooks will call that declarative. Explicit declarative memories are memories we know we have. So you know you can play the piano. You know you can drive a standard transmission. You know your birthday is November the 16th. Those are declarative memories. Then you have memories that are below your awareness. No, I'm sorry, not below your awareness, but memories of, anyway, memories of like how to do things. Ah, man, now I'm getting myself confused. If this is right. Semantic memory. No, I'm sorry. Semantic memory. Semantic memory are facts. And I think I'm getting myself confused. I won't be quizzing you on this, obviously. Semantic memory, those are the facts. And one theory of memory says it's all like this network and everything is interconnected with everything else. So that would be your semantic memory. Flashbulb, we'll be asking you that on a quiz, will I? Flashbulb memories are memories that here, and this is the thing about flashbulb memories, they are not more accurate than other memories. We just have this like sense that they're emotional memories. We have the sense that they're very vivid, that they're very salient. They're usually about emotional events. But flashbulb memories are not more accurate. We just perceive them as being more accurate. So typically they're like of, 9/11, or when you heard about, when you found out your school was shut down after after spring break during COVID. They're like, when you found out someone in your family was hurt or died. There it is. This is the word I was looking for. Implicit memory. That's where I was getting confused. Implicit memories are the memories that are below your conscious awareness, or sometimes, so we often call them unconscious memories, or procedural memories, which should probably be a separate. So implicit memories are the things that are down there that you may not even necessarily know They may be the things that will come out. Here's a perfect example of an implicit memory. The best time to study for a test is right before you go to bed. And sometimes it'll happen that you'll study before you go to bed, you'll get a good night's sleep, you'll go to the test, and all that information just happens to be there. You didn't know it was there, right? But it just happens to be there. Or I'll have these experiences and I'll be talking to somebody and I'll just be like carrying on a conversation and things will just kind of come to me. I'll just remember these things. I didn't know I knew them, but now that I need them, I know them, so to speak. And then procedural memories are how to do things, how to ride a bike, how to walk, how to talk, how to swallow, even. These are all sort of procedural things. So the notion that an infant doesn't have memories, that's why they don't have episodic memory, has really been discredited, in part because they have all these implicit memories, right? They have semantic memories. They know that's their doggy. They may even have some declarative memories, but they may not be able to anchor themselves in space. So really, it's more accurate to say that they lack episodic memories. Okay, well, it looks like the next topic is social and emotional development. So I'm going to stop this right here so that I can start fresh with the next topic.